about 2 minutes, we will start with the final block of the first day at the Judo Hohhot Grand-Prix 2017 here in China. 体彩大满国杯2017年世界柔道大奖赛中国站第一天的决赛即将开始。
Hello and a very big welcome to day one of the Hohhot 2017 Judo Grand-Prix here from the capital city of Inner Mongolia. Hohhot lays between Yinshan Mountain and the Yellow River in the north of China, and Mongolia named it the Blue City because of the big blue skies. Now this bustling city plays host for the first time for the Judo Grand-Prix in what promises to be a great competition. We've got 5 weight categories today. We're in the finals here, just about to happen, and I'm joined in the commentary position by Sheldon Franco Rooks, who's going to introduce our first bouts of the evening.
Very good afternoon, thank you very much, Anil. The opening contest, the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 48 kilo category, features Jiang Yahong of China. She's up against Francesca Milani of Italy. It'll be Jiang in the white judogi, Milani in blue. It was Milani who turned over, if you like, the young Ukrainian, current European champ, 16 years old, came in here.
That's amazing, isn't it? And it's nice that we're seeing out at these Grand Prix and Grand Slams, we're seeing new faces, and you know, they're on the Olympic qualification pathway, you could say. Over the next 3 years, it's going to decide whether they go to the Olympic Games or not.
She couldn't quite make it through to the final. She lost in her semi-final, Milani, to Irina Dolgova of Russia. Anyway, here we go now.
Jiang in white and Milani in blue. Very tactical, the Italians. Probably not known for the technical aspect of their, but certainly the tactical play that they have, and she'll play the game. She's been doing it all day, actually, all the way through the day, just playing tactics and trying to win with whatever she can win by. And look at how they're both on the sleeves here. They'll be penalised for that quite quickly, actually, if they don't attack pretty sharpish.
No, you're right, 3 penalties it was that put out Daria Biladid in that quarter-final. And both fighters, as Neil said, pick up penalties.
Yeah, they're really hot on it now, and well, they've taken one of them away there. Milani didn't have one. I don't really see that, really. I think they should have given them both. Neither one of them has attacked or even looked like it at the moment.
Stab at Kouchi there, wasn't it? It was a long way away, though.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? The sleeve grip, the jacket's now just that little bit bigger, that little bit larger, which enables us to grip the sleeves that little bit easier. But that means that the passivity for not attacking when you've got a positive grip are that much greater, and so the referees have a command now that they've got to penalise quickly if they don't attack, and they're going to get it quickly here again if they're not careful.
It was Jiang who had that little stab with the Kouchi, and then Milani came back with that right-sided effort, but again it wasn't wasn't strong enough to move her opponent, so nothing in it really, apart from that single Shido against Jiang.
Well, several ways of winning on the ground as well. So she needs to get the leg out, control the upper part of the body, hold for 20 seconds to get an ippon. Ippon, of course, is the main aim of the whole game here, is to score ippon either by throwing your opponent flat on the back, holding them for 20 seconds, arm locking or strangling for a submission. Well, always strong grips, both fighters just looking to get the grip that dominates and then right the way underneath, and they have to get full rotation if they turn or drop onto their knees with that Seoinage attack there. They've got to get full rotation.
It's all a little bit tentative, isn't it, at the moment between this pair?
Yeah, well, I said at the beginning, Sheldon, you know, they're very tactical, the Italians, and I wonder whether in training they're actually pushing that point, that absolute point, you know, the tactical game of judo. And of course, every sport has rules that you have to adhere to. But of course, what the rules are doing at the moment, and the referees as well, is that they're ensuring or trying to ensure that they attack. And there's another penalty up there for Zhang, so she's got 2 Shidos, 1 more, and it will be disqualification.
She just felt under some pressure from that grip, just stuck her arms out, and an overly defensive posture cost her a Shido, and then she almost sent Milani flying.
Well, it sprung her into life, didn't it, there? Zhang straight the way underneath for a shoulder throw, and that's what we want right the way through. That's the whole idea here. And for me, it's Milani that hasn't done anything now. She's going to get scored on, is she? Just manages to climb off it.
And got the knee down and was able to then stop any forward momentum, get the foot there and block that.
Well, she's done it all the way through this tournament here, Milani. She just about does enough to get the other one penalised. And there I was just about to say, I thought she deserved a second Shido, a second penalty. So now either one of them now, 1 more Shido, and it'll be game over. 3 Shidos is Hon Sokomaki disqualification. So all of a sudden it's flipped, this contest, because the Italians got to attack. Well, this is an interesting situation here, because now the Italian trying to look busy, but, well, really, if they're not attacking with a dominant grip, it should be them getting the penalty. So it doesn't always go to the one that's being pulled down to the ground. It'd be interesting to see which way the referee gives this.
Yeah, that point was made earlier on about the pulling down.
Well, yeah, I mean, how can you win a major medal just by pulling somebody's head down? The referee let it go on. Yeah. And I think he had something in his ear there. I think the commission were just onto him saying, no, let it carry on.
I think they had a good look at that as they were tying up their belts. The two fighters. The commission looked at that.
Lightest weight category, under 48 kilograms for ladies. And certainly for me, Zhang is the one that's attacking here. And Milani has to do something.
There isn't quite enough time left on the clock to have Milani done up for passivity, so we're going to go into golden score.
Yeah, well, the referee should just call Hajime straight away, because it's all just one long contest now. It's not 2 different contests as it used to be with golden score. They just shout Hajime straight away, and the contest continues.
Jiang, unfortunately, hasn't been able to put together a combination when she's come up with those attacks. She rattles Milani one way and then can't come another, but I don't think it's going to matter, because Milani's going to pick up
I think Milani's going to pick up the penalty here, and I think, you know, it's definitely gone the right way, because certainly Zhang, for me, did enough, didn't she?
Yeah, it's a case of the bite a bit, isn't it? You know, she penalised people earlier during the day, did Milani, and this time
kind of backfired on her, didn't it? Absolutely, it did.
Turn, yeah. Nobody wants to see a contest ending that way, but from time to time, you know, when fighters are evenly matched, that kind of contest comes up.
Yeah, well, that was one of them. That was the Cianeghi that almost launches the Italian there, right the way underneath. Didn't quite get her onto her back, of course, which is where she wants her. But a good technique and really good work there from the Chinese fighter, and that puts China one up with a medal in the under 48 kilograms.
And she was busy enough, wasn't she? The little Chinese was busy. Right, we've got the all-Ukraine matchup now between Daria Biladid and Marina Cherniak. It's Biladid in the white judogi, Cherniak in blue.
29 years of age, Cherniak. She's been around a long time, and her and her twin sister, actually, both international fighters. And her sister is on the international circuit, but for the visually impaired.
And I think they're almost, you know, like identical.
They are absolutely identical, yeah. Because I was surprised, you know, I saw her coming out to fight at the visually impaired, and then I realized that she had a twin sister. So Biladid of the Ukraine is in white.
I wonder what kind of head-to-head we're going to get here, because there's a little bit, I'm sure, from Cherniak about, you know, put the youngster in her place. And there's a little bit from Biladid, I'm sure, about I've come to take your place.
Well, but that's it, isn't it? I mean, they're chasing. I remember coming out with a few stories myself about certain fighters that I used to chase when I was coming up as a young fighter, you know, and coming through fighting the Olympic champion of the time, and then all of a sudden I was the one being chased. So it's you know, it does happen. It switches round.
Biladid engineered a situation there where Cherniak found it difficult to stay inside the area. She wandered out. She picked up a penalty.
Well, she's got to pick up a penalty for that. There's 2 feet outside there, and the young Ukrainian here just making big mistakes. You know, especially now, we haven't seen so much edge play from fighters now, because the referee's very, very strict on the edge. Immediate Shido, 2 feet out, immediate Shido, and it tends to keep them inside. But look at this. Here she is, not giving up on it, and attacking with the Sangaku, trying for the triangular strangle there with the legs.
She's had a few goes at that today, and I'm sure it's something that she used to good effect as a cadet and junior, which she still is. At 16, she still is, but she's decided that this is where she's going to ply her trade at the moment now in the seniors. And the Cadet European Championships are taking place today. She's nowhere near. Now dangerous, wasn't it?
It was really dangerous. You know, we were talking about this earlier, about the attacks, wakigatame type attacks off one-handed techniques going against the elbow. And it's immediate Honsokamaki, if, you know, I mean, just a little bit more against the elbow there, and it can lose you the contest. Look, doing it again, absolutely got to be careful with that.
It's 2 kind of untidy efforts from Cherniak, to be honest. I'll be aware of that.
It's interesting this, isn't it? Because you can tell, I'm sure that if Cherniak wasn't from the same country, Biladid would be going all out here, but she's showing her the respect. I think, obviously, she's grown up with her, and being a junior, and probably had a few randoris that have taken her over, and done a few ippons here and there with her through the years. But here she is fighting her in a Grand Prix medal match.
Biladid suffered a first defeat in I don't know how long. Been undefeated for quite a long time. Ooh,
now then,
Wazari.
Yeah, beautiful Wazari that was, and took her down. It's off the area, but it doesn't matter. It's continuous. The referee will let it go on just for a little while, see if something comes from it, and it's mate.
Well, that spiced things up a little bit now with 1:48 left to go. I think she took a bit of a bump to the head on the way down, did Biladid, despite the fact that she came up with the score. There's it. Sit there, yeah. Nice one.
So the youngster ahead here, Cherniak, I'm sure she can feel that her #1 place in the Ukraine is probably starting to drift away. Be interesting, won't it, at the World Championships? I wonder whether they're actually fighting for a World Championship place or whether they might send them both.
Yeah, that's a tricky one, and it could be that after today they may decide that it's not necessary to send
Cherniak.
Well,
yeah, I mean, it is one of those things, isn't it? You know,
they may want to send 2 heavyweights because they've got very good heavyweights. And just send the one.
Well, climbing all over Cherniak now, isn't she? Biladid now has to get side control for that outside komi. She's got it now. So Sangaku Gatami, and she just needs to stay on top of her opponent. It's side control, but on top. Definitely can't be underneath, and so she just needs to hold her there for the 20 seconds.
Well, she had a little dig at that earlier on and missed out. She came back for a second go at it and came up with some success, and I'm sure she's used that to good effect when she's been, you know, in the cadets and juniors, and now, you know, rolling it out here as a senior. So not entirely bad news for Biladid, because her first outing at an IJF Grand Prix results in a bronze medal. How good is that? And
beating, you know, the person that's been clearly #1 as well in your country, especially with the World Championships coming round. So if it is in dispute, I think
they've sorted it out.
I think that's probably sorted it.
Yeah.
So 2 bronze medal matches then complete in the under 48 kilograms, and we're just about then to see our first final of the evening. Don't forget, we've got 5 categories being contested today, 3 in the ladies and 2 in the men's. And there was the technique there from Biladid. Beautiful. Sodi, well, what was it? Sodi Tayatoshi, wasn't it?
She had a little bit of a left leg in there, didn't she?
Almost. It was an Ashiguruma, I think, off the sleeves. And then she turned it into Sangaku Gatami there, and the very experienced Cherniak could do nothing about it. World ranked 11 going into that, Cherniak, and Biladid was world ranked 27, so her world ranking will definitely change after that.
Well, we come now to the final of the under 48 kilo category. Kang Yu-jong of the Republic of Korea faces Irina Dolgova of Russia, and it was Dolgova who lost out in the European Championships to Daria Biladid.
Is that right?
Yeah, beat her in the final. Well, she won't be too worried about that now. That's the past. There she is in the final.
Yes, there's the road to the final for each of them, and 29 world ranked Kang of Republic of Korea, and she's just about to fight Dolgova. And well, the Russians have a lot of under 48 kilogram fighters, haven't they? Real depth in the category, they really have. But it's Dolgova out here.
She's their go-to fighter now.
Well, I was going to say that there's a Russian team here of 30 fighters all in all. They're here in, you know, in depth. So they've got a strong team in. So Kang in white, Dolgova in blue. Watch for the transition from Dolgova as well. A lot of the Russian ladies now, really strong transition from standing down to ground. And that, I think, because of their coaches, Jean-Pierre Gilbert and Patrick Roux of France. Now the ladies' coaches, of course, for the team, the Olympic team, the world team. Doing a good job. Doing a good job in building depth.
There's a little bit more room in the category as well, as far as the Russians are concerned, for Dolgova now that her teammate has moved up to 52. Alessia Kuznetsova, the other Newaza specialist, she's moved up to 52 kilos now, so Dolgova, a little bit more breathing room.
Yeah. Well, of course, you know, it's, oh, that was a nice Tayatoshi there. It really was. Dolgova there almost scores. So watch the transition now. She's onto the arm here, and Kang has to be a little bit careful. Can't stay there, that's for sure. Now she's on the arm. That arm looks as if it's going to come out as well. Just needs to get the leverage on it. Readjustment of balance will do it if she can get the head free.
It's just that the problem with Kang's legs around the head, making it difficult for Dolgova as well.
Patrick Roux there in the chair just shouting. Just a small change in direction might have got that arm out. Still plenty of time though. 4-minute contest for the men and for the ladies.
Kang will no doubt be aware of Dolgova's expertise in Newaza. It won't be the first time that she's seen her.
Yeah, she'll certainly be a little bit more careful now, I think. Well, we've got a strong Korean team, haven't we? Both Republic of Korea and the Democratic Republic, People's Republic of Korea as well in there. And you don't see them out very often, do you? You don't. The Democratic Republic of Korea have a strong team here.
Coming up to the World Championships as well, they probably need some preparation. So why not?
Well, yeah, they do a lot of their training behind, you know, closed doors, you could say, and we don't see them out very often in these Grand Prix and these Grand Slams.
It's Dolgova's turn to have to defend on the ground.
Yeah, we were saying earlier on that we hadn't seen that much Newaza, and we don't know why really, because they've got a lot more opportunity now to carry on in the ground, and gone is the time when they'll stand you up after 10 seconds. If it's anything that grows, anything that develops, they'll let it go. Referees have strict instructions to do that.
Craig Bartlett is the referee in the middle for this one. He's from New Zealand.
Yeah, one of the new referees on the block as well, and so great for him to have a final in the first Grand Prix that he's ever refereed in the final of, and so great experience for him.
And they don't give those away. You know, you have to have done something really good during the day to warrant them putting you in the middle.
Well, what happens is they have to qualify, and then it gets pulled out the hat actually for what order or what fights that you're going to get. So your main job as a referee is to perform well during the day and then get put in the hat
into the hat
for the final block.
Poor old Mashbat Buko has been pulled out of the hat on 4 occasions because he's from Mongolia, and there are quite a few Mongolians in there. Oh, good effort.
That's got to be a score, surely. Kang scores.
He's just given that. He's taken a little bit of time. He thought, let me see. Yeah, that would have been a Yuko in old money. Let me give that a result.
Yeah, well,
right at the death.
I think he did very, very well there, actually.
Yes.
He delayed that, didn't he? He didn't jump to it. It was definitely a score, and she landed on her side.
Yeah.
So it warranted a wazari, and Kang just steals it.
Well, I was saying about Dolgova having won the silver at the European Championships in Warsaw 6 weeks ago or something, and she's picked up another silver here. She'll be wanting to see the back of that colour soon.
I think she will. Big smile on her face there. Kang Yujong of Korea with a lovely Yoko Satemiwaza there, and she takes Dolgova onto her side. Yoko Otoshi, yeah, beautiful, gets the direction, ducks underneath that arm, and gets the drive off the legs. And it's that kind of occasion, isn't it? When you're going over there, you know it's gone away from you, don't you?
Yeah, she pulled that off really well.
The big celebrations. And the Republic of Korea start off with a gold medal.
Right, we've got the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 60 kilo category coming up now. Ganbat Bolbatar of Mongolia faces Albert Ogazov of Russia. Ganbat in the white judogi, Ogazov in blue.
Yeah, former world champion. Ganbat, not quite to the absolute sharpness, you know, that won him the world title, but he's always there and roundabout. And Ogazov, of course, a big thrower himself. They're not far off the same in the world rankings at the moment. Ganbat world ranked 15 and Ogazov world ranked 17. I think the Mongolians have so much depth, and so have the Russians, of course, and I think the Russians trying to sort out one or two of the categories for the World Championships here.
Yeah, they've got the current Olympic champion at under 60 kilos, Beslan Mudranov. I haven't seen him around for a bit.
No, but I mean, that's it, isn't it? So much depth. And look at that, straight into the Juji Gatami there. Ooh, that was very, very close, wasn't it there? Ogazov, for those of you that didn't quite get what he was doing there, he was latching himself onto an arm there, and Ganbat had to retract his arm very, very sharply and very quickly.
And then they had the 60 kilo, the Olympic champion at under 60 kilos from London as well, Arsene Galstian.
Yeah.
He moved out of the weight category. So for the time being, anyway, Russia kind of own that weight category.
Yeah, no, they have done, haven't they, over the last two Olympic cycles. It's pretty hot on the penalties at the beginning. If nobody attacks, and the whole idea of that, of course, is to instigate the attacking from both of the fighters. That's the main aim. Not to give the Shido, but to just rev it all up a bit.
Got a really low centre of gravity, hasn't he, Ganbat?
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Ogazov there, got to make sure that he, with that very low Tomanagi that he just does there, he's got to make sure that he breaks the balance of Ganbat, because like you say, you could just kill it dead, and an easy penalty to get for just dropping onto your back. Not quite landing on his side there, Ogazov. Little bit of a discussion at the moment as to where the Wazari starts, because it should be on the side, and at the moment, up until the World Championships, on the side towards the front is still going to be counted as a score, but after the World Championships, on the side towards the back will be the start of the Wazari, and it will make it a lot easier for referees of all levels to get a starting point for it. And it's another reason that the Ippon has been made so clear that it has to land fully onto the back with impetus, with strength and with power. And it just makes it easier, because anything in between those two then is a Wazari.
He just snuck that one out.
Yeah, he did.
It was really...
well, that's exactly what I was talking about, because that, after the World Championships, won't be counted as a score.
Ganbat just took a bit of a whack to the back of the head as Ogazov looked to bring his left leg over to try to attempt that entry into the Juji Gatami again, but he just caught Ganbat on the back of the head. And they've had a little hand tap to say, well, Ogazov has anyway, to apologise, and they're back underway now. There's Neil.
Yeah, there's no malice in it, is there? It's a hard sport. Physically, it's very demanding, and it's 4 minutes really hard work. Unless it goes into golden score, then it can be more, of course, but big arm coming over the top. You are likely to get a clip round the ear the odd time. It just kind of happens. very close with that arm lock. He's been a couple of times there. Gambat just managing to defend it.
And that is the fighter who's got the single score of Wazari on the board. Oguzov picked up a single penalty. We've got 40-odd seconds left to go.
Wazaris used to be a cumulative, 2 Wazaris anyway, to make an ippon, but not now. So you can get as many Wazaris as you possibly can get. So the main aim all the time is to score the ippon.
That was
Now
really
then.
well illustrated this morning, sorry.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, he's almost on there, wasn't it? Across the face.
Can't remember who it was that scored 2 Wazaris, was looking really comfortable, and then they got thrown for ippon. Happened this morning.
Yeah, but I mean, and I like it. You know,
Yeah,
I think that it
yeah.
really opens it up. And I've had some people say to me, yeah, there's not as many ippons now as there used to be, but there's twice as many Wazaris that used to be ippons. So it can only be positive stuff, can't it? You know, we just call it something different.
Yeah,
Me
I like
too.
Well, Gambat does just enough to edge out Albert Oguzov of Russia. And it's the Mongolian, the former world champion, as Neil was talking about, who takes the first of the bronze medal matches in the under 60 kilo category. There'll be some highlights of this after we see the athletes bow, and then we'll be back with the second of the bronze medal contest.
It'll give us another chance just to have a look at the score at the moment. And I know there'll be a lot of people out there watching saying, well, for me it's not a score, when they virtually land on their front. And I agree with them 100%, which is why we're pushing very, very hard at the moment to get it absolutely on the side towards the back rather than on the side towards the front. So we're in full agreement. But we can't change anything before the World Championships, and then it will all change.
Right, who is it that we've got coming up now? It's the second of the bronze medal contests. And Mohammed Rashnonazad of Iran faces Robert Shvidabadze of Russia. It's Rashnonazad in the white judogi, Shvidabadze in blue. Neil was talking about the depth of the fighters in Russia in the under 60 kilo category, and here's another one fighting.
Yeah, I was saying, I think what they're doing, a little bit of sorting out here. Probably one of these is going to go to the World Championships. They have so much depth that the 8 that they can actually, the 9 that they can actually send in to the World Championships. They can send 9 fighters men and 9 fighters women, and that means you can double up in 2 of the categories. But it probably won't be in 60 kilos, I don't think, for Russia.
Yeah, I'm just wondering where they will be. Anyway, we'll find out soon.
We will indeed. Yeah. Rashnonazad then in white. Shvidabadze is in blue.
Heather Luchens of Belgium is the referee in the middle for this one.
Yes, again, it's something special for her to be refereeing a major match here in one of the Grand Prix.
Well, she won't be doing many more. She's going off to have a baby soon.
Yes, she is. Indeed, she is. Yeah.
We shall lose Heather for a while. She'll be back, I'm sure.
That was close. Look at that. That might be on. That strangle might be on. Any well,
he's indicating it's on across the face. He's going to have to move around.
Well, that's gone underneath the neck now. That's definitely underneath the neck. Shvidabadze.
Just look at the extremities, see when they collapse, and then you know he's out. But he's still, he was hanging in there. What a tough fighter. That was tough.
Rashnonazad there, just throwing his legs forwards, just trying to get the leverage. And I think Shvidabadze pointing out that he was across the face, and then it slid nicely underneath the neck, didn't it?
With one arm.
Yeah, well, you've got to be careful with the one-arm attacks that it doesn't go against the elbow joint.
That one was kind of around the...
It kind of was, wasn't it?
He was all right there. He's an exciting looking fighter, Shuhrabazi. He's always coming up with something that makes you catch your breath.
It's all about dominating grips, and Shuhrabazi is dominating the sleeve grip there, but he's got to be very careful of that transition there. Rashnonazad of Iran, very, very quick onto that strangle. He's got to watch the edge there. Oh, it's going to be a penalty. That's a definite penalty there. The Iranian just walked out, both feet out. It's an immediate penalty. So you've got to make sure you stay in. On the other side of that as well, if you push somebody out, then you can get the Shido penalty. Don't forget, you've only got 3 you can get before being disqualified, so you can't afford too many of them.
The thing about that he was talking about is there was no way. Oh, that was beautifully done. Sorry.
Yeah.
Really nice. Not sure what Rashnonazad was claiming there.
Well, I think the Kaeshiwaza was what he was claiming, which was the counter, but it was too late, and it goes to the one initiating the original technique.
Oh, he was like...
He was on his own back.
Next week, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, absolutely.
His technique arrived.
Well, it's kind of a thing that happens is you start the counter when you've been attacked, but if you land on your own back, it doesn't count, and it goes to the one that initiated the technique.
And I think that makes it that little bit clearer now.
Yeah.
As to, you know, where the score is going to go.
Yes.
But that was clearly Shuhrabazi. He brought him down. He hit his back through no attempt at a Sutemiwaza. He realised, oh, I'm going over. I'll throw the Sutemiwaza in.
Yeah, well, what it does as well is that if you're training the Sutemiwaza and any kind of counter, you've got to make sure that you don't land on your own back. So it means you've got to either rotate or you've got to arch your back, and you've got to make sure that it's fully committed, but your back cannot touch the floor before your opponent touches the floor.
Little over half a minute left to go. Single score of Wazari by Shuhrabazi. Looking as though it might be enough now for him to take this one.
Yeah, well, he's got to take the fight to him now, hasn't he? Rashnonazad now attacking. He realises that the second's ticking away. Quick look at the clock there. Shuhrabazi there just has a quick look. Now he just needs to block out, but not so much that he gets penalised. 8 seconds left. One more attack will do it. He's going to get a Shido. In fact, it goes to Rashnonazad.
He couldn't come up with an attack quick enough from that strong grip on one side. Just held on to it a little bit too long. Well, he gave it his all, the Iranian. Shuhrabazi, however, comes out on top in this one, and the Russians may have lost the first bronze medal contest. Albert Ogazov losing out in that one, but he's come back and done him proud. Shuhrabazi.
Well, I was going to say that just might decide 60 kilos and who goes to the World Championships.
Bronze medal for men on the 60 kilogram for Russia, Robert Mishkilovadze.
So 1 bronze medal for Mongolia, 1 for Russia in this under 60 kilos category, and a second chance of a medal for Mongolia with this final just about to happen.
You see this once more here, look, there's the score, down he goes, and then it's
like you said, Sheldon, it makes it so much clearer now, because you have to know, as an athlete, as a coach, that any kind of Kaeshiwaza, any kind of counter where you drop on your own back is not going to count for you. Absolutely guaranteed.
We come now to the final of the under 60 kilo category. Dashtova Amaturchin of Mongolia faces Shishimi Toru of Japan. It's Dashtava in the white judogi, Shishimi in blue.
Yeah, he's had a good day, hasn't he, Dashtava, so far, and Shishimi has as well. Some beautiful judo all the way through. So should be a really good final, this.
Yeah, this and the under 66 kilo category. I think this is going to be, they're going to be really two smash and grab 'em contests. Wongo Chao is the referee in the middle for this one. He is from China and he is from this city.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Indeed.
Which, if we give it its Chinese name, is pronounced Hohhot.
That was the old name, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. indeed.
Hohhot.
Well, he actually...
I'm just going to stick with Hohhot.
He's actually refereed at 3 Olympic Games. One of the most experienced referees on the circuit.
And we were talking about the number of finals that people did. He did 4 at one Games, 4 finals.
Is that right?
No Chinese in them.
Oh, wow. I don't know if that's lucky or not.
I don't know.
He thought it was lucky anyway.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that was a bit bad of me to say, but it's out now.
Well, I think we're going to see something quite special here. Dashtava, of course, will take advantage of any poor technique from Shishimi. Shishimi will have to make sure that he's very, very decisive and precise with his technique.
Strong bit of gripping from Dashtava, and Shishimi was collapsing under the pressure there, trying to defend against it.
Yeah, well, he's got a very deep Seoinage as well, Shishimi, so he's going to have to watch the arm that he leaves up sometimes. He's a very high lapel hand. Strong gripping all the time. Looking for the favourite grip, the one that's going to initiate or allow them to initiate the technique that they want. That's what the gripping's all about.
Remember the first couple of times when Dashtava was coming into that weight category, and they still had a couple of really, top draw fighters in there, including at that time the world champion who we saw earlier, Kandat. And Dashtava was definitely the boy, amongst the men. So he got caught there.
Beautiful, wasn't it? That was
just
beautiful.
On the way out, wasn't he?
Yeah. Shishimi there with Yoko Satemi, Yoko Toshi off to the right. And he changed the flank, actually. And that's what a lot of these great fighters are able to do. It's not just going one way all the time. I mean, that's opportune stuff, isn't it? That's opportune judo. Just waiting for the right moment, and it's very much feel. It's not something you train. Well, you can feel it, and that's what you train, with your randori and stuff like that.
The second that opportunity opened up, Shishimi was able to grab that and pick up the score. 2 minutes left to go. Shishimi leads by Wazari.
Lightest weight category, under 60 kilograms in the men's categories. Only 2 men's weight categories today, under 60 and under 66 kilograms. 3 in the ladies. Lovely uchimata from Shishimi there. Still looking for the drop Seoinage, I think, Shishimi, but isn't it interesting to see the different styles here? That big right arm there of Dashtava, trying to go over the back, trying to spoil Shishimi. 2 completely different styles. And of course, the Mongolian style, it derives from the Mongolian style of wrestling that is so prevalent in their country. Everybody starts off wrestling, and then they either get put into the judo, or they then become a postman.
Those are your options.
Well, there's still 33% of the whole country nomadic, which is incredible amount of people. It's just living off the country. and then half the population is in Ulaanbaatar.
Shishime is the fighter who picked up the penalty there. But he also has the single score at the moment, and he leads with 40-odd seconds left to go.
Well, get ready for Dash Devar now, because he's going to really pile the pressure on. There's the arm over the top again. So Shishime could possibly pick up a second penalty here if he's not careful. 30 seconds left in this under 60 kilos final. Just doing enough, isn't he, Shishime? Bit of tactical play there. Doesn't need to do anything silly. Dash Devar there. 24 seconds to get this score back. Oh, now then, is that a nip-on? Well, a little bit of a hesitation there. Is it a score or not?
No, I don't think so. It was Dash Devar making the turn. It failed. And then I don't think there was enough from Shishime to claim a counter. They'll probably show the replay. They're going to have a look at it.
Well, I think they are, but I think what they're looking at here is Shishime pushing against the leg for defence.
Yeah.
And I noticed he was doing that, but he'll just take the Shido, which will be a second Shido. 8 seconds left, and he'll still... now then.
Oh, so
he does get the Ippon from it.
Yeah. Well, we'll see in the replay then, because obviously we've seen it once. They've seen something where they think that Dash Devar's failed effort was then countered by Shishime, and it was enough to give him the score. But
and remember as well, Sheldon, is that what they've said as well, from a referee perspective, if you can't name the technique, then it won't score. So it'd be interesting to see what technique he actually does off it. And I think it will be the Ouchigari.
Yeah, it could be that. I didn't see the leg in there. Anyway, it's Shishime Toru of Japan who takes the gold medal. Oh, no. If that was it, then that's full-on score.
No, this is the first one.
I was going to say.
This is the first one. So there's the Yoko Toshi
right,
off to the...
Nothing wrong with that. Okay.
Almost touched the leg there as well, didn't he? Not quite. So that was the first one. Are we going to see the second score?
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
unfortunately
not.
Never mind. We come to the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 48 kilo category. Let's take a look at the lineup of the athletes, and we'll give you a rundown of who it was that won the medals. First of the bronze medals goes to Daria Biladid of Ukraine. Bronze medal also for Jiang Yahong of China.
silver medal for Russia.
Silver medal goes to Irina Dolgova of Russia. Gold medal goes to Kang Yu-jeong of the Republic of Korea. And that's Mr. Joe from the Development Department of the International Judo Federation, who is making the medal presentation.
Well, again, it was Yoko Toshi, wasn't it, that took Dolgova over for the score. Drove off the legs there and took her onto a side for a wazari. And that was enough. And it was towards the end of the contest, but beautifully taken. And a gold medal to the Republic of Korea.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Korea.
Now, the national anthem of the Republic of Korea.
2. And now it's time for a friendly picture with the athletes and the VIPs, please.
Mr. Jiang is in the picture, the family picture there.
And Mr. Zhong, one of the greatest judo men ever. Former world and Olympic champion.
Undefeated at World Championships, wasn't he?
Absolutely amazing judoka. And a superman as well.
We're lucky to have
a
him
true
now.
gentleman.
Biladid and Jiang were the bronze medalists. Dolgova picked up the silver.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the first bronze medal
Kang
contest
from the Republic of Korea who took the gold.
Please
Right, we come to the first of the bronze medals in the under 52 kilo category now. Wang Chu-ya of China faces Munkbat Uransetic of Mongolia. It'll be Wang in the white judo gi, Munkbat in blue. She's moved up temporarily, I heard, from 48 to 52. She'll be back at 48 for the World Championship.
Is that right?
Just fancied having a dig here.
Well, she's done quite a few, hasn't she, under 52 actually, and still up there winning medals. Well, that does surprise me. I wonder why that is, but anyway, Wang Zhujiang of China coming out here. She'll be wearing white. Munkbat, very experienced, and she has great newaza as well. Her groundwork is phenomenal. Her transition, she'll go straight to the ground, and Wang will have to be very, very careful down there.
He's trapped a few people recently with that Sangaku Gatami, Sangaku Jimmy from time to time as well. Seen a couple of people tap out from that. Even today.
Well, you know, especially now with the way the rules are going, look at that. How quickly there that both of them get warned, immediate penalties, and that will spark them now to start to fight. And if you leave it too long, then it doesn't work. You know, it absolutely doesn't. And then at the end of the contest, if you're trying to, if one of you is attacking and the other one isn't, quite often the Shidos go the wrong way, and the wrong person wins the contest. So actually, those first penalty, or the first penalty to spark it all off, is one of the most important ones. So almost 1 minute in here, neither one of them has gripped up and attacked. So the Shido just depicted on your board there, just with a little yellow flag that you can see, and second one goes up to Wang. One more and it will be all over. Neither one of them having, well, traded any kind of attack.
That time around, the referee was really looking at the one who had done the least. I mean, both were still, you know, patter-caking around.
The least amount of not attacking.
Exactly, yeah.
Now she goes. Munkbat will be looking for the transition now. So watch this. Here we go. Looking for the Uranagi pickup.
She's even strong at 52.
Well, I was just about to say, actually, I wonder where her weight lies. Probably halfway between the categories, and that's what happens a lot of the time. Now it's going to happen. She'll come straight round for the Sangaku, and Wang will be in trouble here because she's going to just go onto the arm here, do the front somersault into the hold down, and she'll have the...
Oh, she's tapped out already.
She tapped out because she had the arm, and it was Udagarami on the arm. Nice bit of newaza, beautiful transition as always.
As you said right at the beginning of the contest, look out for Munkbat's newaza, and so it turned out. Well, she'll be happy because she's had contests, you know, she's had that little bit of strength against her, which is always useful if you're going to take your time and go back down to your natural weight without rushing it.
Yeah, no, exactly. And, you know, I did it a couple of times, and look at that, how she catches the arm here. Just while she does it here. The arm's already out. Look at the udigarami applied with the legs. It was already on. She was already submitting as she was rolling over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. It gives you contest at the higher weight category, slightly different balance, and then you drop down to your normal weight, and then in you go. A different balance is the important thing. Here's the second bronze medal match.
And this one features another China-Mongolia matchup. We had a few. Here's another one. Wang Xin of China faces Chintoktog Asaya of Mongolia. It's Wang in the white judogi, Chintoktog in blue. Here we go. Craig Bartlett's in the middle again. This time in a bronze medal. Getting plenty of work.
Plenty of work. I'm sure he's got plenty of supporters back home as well. He had a good morning refereeing. He was very consistent with his refereeing all the way through the day. Wang Xin, world rank 61. Chintoktog of Mongolia, world rank 35. She's in blue. Very aggressive, the Mongolians, but incredible depth. When you consider that they've only got 3 million people in the country, 1.5 million of those are actually in Ulaanbaatar itself. But judo, absolutely huge in Mongolia. In fact, it's their top sport.
Nice little turn there from Wang, but Chintoktog was up to defending that, didn't get caught. She's not quite out of it yet, but the leg went the wrong way.
Well, they're so aggressive, aren't they? The Mongolian fighters, female and male, all of them born to battle.
Talk about female and male, and we're going to have that in the Olympic Games now.
Well, of course, we have the team championships that's just been confirmed, hasn't it? Three men, 3 ladies.
And then we're going to roll that out in Budapest at the World Championships.
Well, it's going to be absolutely amazing. It really will be. Great atmosphere, team competition, and great for judo to have that as a team sport in the Olympic Games.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. 2.5 minutes left to go, and it's now Chintoktog's turn to attack on the ground.
Be interesting to see if she goes for the arm. She'll have to go onto the arm, change the direction, needs the head down. So now can she spin it underneath? Made a mistake there. She just needed to get the head down a little bit quicker than that, and she would have had her in real trouble there with that arm lock. Coming up to the halfway mark of this first part of the contest, first 4 minutes. If there's no score on the board, or it's all equal, then it goes into golden score situation, and then any score on the board then will win the match. Well, we've got a situation here now where they're just fighting for grips. Neither one of them really committing. She looked very cool, didn't she? Didn't have a lot to say there.
Chintoktog's putting up a reasonable little effort here.
Yeah, she's got to make sure she rotates all the way around for that Seoinage. Wang just defending it. Good newaza exchanges. Referee will let it go. Any chance of any kind of development, he'll let it go. When it goes into golden score now, unless the belt comes off, the referee will just carry it straight on. He won't stop the contest and then start the golden score. He'll just say hajime, call hajime, and each of the fighters then have to continue. It's like a continuation of. Well, anybody's match. Still no penalties on the board, no big attacks, really. I think, well, yeah, I was just about to say that there should be one going up there any second now. Wang gets the first Shido.
Another one with the arm bent, looking to block the leg. They're getting a bit clever now, aren't they?
Well, the thing is, you can't do it. Anything touching the legs, anything blocking, it's a Shido immediately. Used to be Honsokamaki, of course. So Shintok certainly looking the stronger of the two at the moment. Second penalty up to Wang. Drops in Aggie. That's the best attack we've seen so far. And the crowd were up for it, weren't they?
Well, Neil was talking about the number of contests that had gone into golden score, and here is another one. It happens when the fighters are really evenly matched and they've not been able to come up with a positive score in normal time. That is the case here. Not a lot to separate these two, certainly not as far as the score is concerned. 2 penalties picked up by Wang in normal time, and the golden score period is underway now.
Yeah, this time the clock ticks upwards, doesn't tick down, and it can go, depending on whether they attack at the right time, at the appropriate time, whether it's a strong attack or not. It can go on and on for as long as the original contest, or it can go on a little bit longer. Well, they're both attacking now, that's for sure. Good attacking stuff. Shintok dominating the grip, I think, just ahead on the domination part of the contest. Needs to use it now. Mongolian has the dominant grip. Oh, beautiful Ashiwaza. No score, she landed on her front.
Again, another one of those opportune actions.
Yeah, it's all about movement, isn't it, with Ashi? Look how she moves to the side there. And that was too much on the front. Surely no. We were all fighting on the front desk earlier about some of these scores that we have to give when they're on the side towards the front, and it has been given. Wow.
Very generous.
Well, it is generous, and it's confusing. You know, we were confused, so it's got to be confusing for everybody else. Wang Xin then gets the bronze medal. Real opportune Ashiwaza, caught her just as on the move. See, for me, that definitely wasn't a score. Landed on her elbow. Look how she lands on her elbow there.
And turning onto her front.
And turning onto her front as well.
You know, there's got to be a nice big part of the side of the body, and I was sceptical about that one. Anyway, it's done and dusted. They move on. We come to the final of the under 52 kilo category now. Rim Song Sim from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea faces Ekaterina Guika of Canada. It's Rim in the white judogi, Guika in blue.
Well, Guika has had a really good day, really has. I know quite a bit of Canadian support out there at this moment. And I think my wife might be one of them supporting there.
Ashbat Bukbat is the referee in the middle for this one. He gets his chance now that there's not a Mongolian involved in the... Katerina Guika. She beat Rim's teammate first up in her opening contest, Ji Eun-he of the DPLK in the first fight. And then it was Wang Xin of China, and then Munkbat Setzig.
Yeah, not an easy way through, was it, really?
Did a good job. Mongolian and the Chinese, North Korean as well, so did a good job.
Well, we haven't seen a lot of these People's Republic of Korea fighters. We haven't seen them because they haven't been out of their own country. They don't come onto the circuit very often.
Ooh.
Now then, is this going to be all over? It might just be.
What a slip that was, and she let that one go. I mean, Yoko Shigatami was on there, you know. I think she was so shocked.
I think Guika was absolutely a bit stunned there, but just manages to pull it together.
Guika hadn't woken up yet, allowed that to, to develop. She thought maybe she was on her way up to stand up. Rim thought maybe it was going to be called mate, and all of a sudden it was on.
Yeah, and it's the Ashiwaza that led into it the last time. Good Ashiwaza again from the North Korean.
Medovich in the chair for Guika as she picks up a penalty for passivity. There's been a bit of action in this, though, isn't there? It's just, completely different from some of the other contests.
Well, it's nice to see when you see the Ashiwaza start to, the movement and the coordination start to work, and good, strong Seonagi attacks there from Rim.
Rim following on from a very successful teammate won Olympics ago at 52. In trouble here, though.
Yes, could be it, could it?
Just turned well, good turn. Every ounce of energy used to turn in towards Guika because she was going to get that straightened.
Let's go. I think you're right. I think it's a good fight. It's up and down. It really is. It's good standing work, good transition into Newaza.
Just talking about the under 52 kilo category Olympic champion from London in 2012. She was from the People's Republic of Korea. An Kumei. Silver medalist in Beijing, gold medalist in London, and then retirement and happy times having a baby. Done, dusted.
Job done.
Job done, yeah. Been there, done it. Got my feet up now.
Well, this is really anybody's match here. Rim right-handed against Guika of Canada, who is a left-handed fighter. Big left hand just coming over the top there.
Need to get rid of that. It's not where you want to be.
No, it really is left against right here, isn't it? Opposite stance. Can make it quite awkward, but each one of them going onto the sleeve, so they've both got sleeve grips. So actually they're doing a good job for Canada.
Yeah.
Really doing a great job.
I like him for our spot later on. He's a good boy. Not yet though, Sash.
No.
You take your time.
Stay where you are for a bit.
Oh,
nice
Tomonagi! Oh, Neil, that was lovely.
It was absolutely beautiful stuff there. And
Yoko as well, just off to the side a little bit.
Well, it was quite soft, so
yeah.
The main point is, did her shoulders touch the mat? It can't roll onto the points of the shoulders. anything that rolls is a wazari. So I want to see that back in slow motion, and I think she did. She actually landed with a thud, didn't it? It was quite a soft thud, but
what she didn't get was all that elevation that we normally see.
Exactly.
Gold medal for women on
That's the deceptive part. It was low, it was off to the side, but I think she had the control, and as you say, I think she landed with both shoulders on the back. Rin Song Sin, there we go. Not the best view, this is not the best
Again, she started it with the ashiwaza, and yeah, it was up and over.
This is better, yeah.
She gets the elevation to just place her onto the points of her shoulders, right? So it can't get any clearer than that. Nice ashiwaza set it up. She almost had her a couple of times.
And she almost brought into play the second foot. You know, we see that sometimes. There was a temptation to have that as a helping foot. I was going to say helping hand. That wouldn't be the right.
No, it was a helping foot.
Helping foot. Right, what we've got now, the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 60 kilos. Really looks happy.
That is happy. That's happy for Shishimi.
Bronze medals go to Robert Shvidabadze of Russia and to Mongolia. Silver medal goes to Dashtava Tufshin. The gold medal goes to Shishimi Toru of Japan.
Great performance from Shishimi. It really was. Looked in command all day. That was the Yoko Satemi that actually scored, and I don't know if we're going to get a replay on what actually scored the Ippon. That wasn't the Ippon. This is it. And there it is. He just places him onto his back. Yes, he does thump him onto his back. Pretty similar to the one we've just seen, actually. And just takes him onto the points of his shoulders with the ojigari.
And the legs were, the legs got trapped up in there as well. So yeah.
Like I say, you can't put a name to it.
No.
You can't score it.
Now the national anthem of Japan.
Thank you. And then now it's time for a family picture with the VIPs and the athletes, please.
I wasn't really keen on the term family picture, but it's kind of stuck now. That's what we've got in front. None of them are family, really, but you know, that's what we call it.
Well, I think they mean the judo family, don't they?
There is the judo family picture that leaves, and we're left with Shvidabadze and Yanbat on bronze medal position. Dashtava
Yes, family picture, but here we go. Now up under 66 kilos category, bronze medal match. Keiichi Kengo of Japan against Yondon Perenli of Mongolia.
I didn't mean to do that.
It's okay, no problem at all. Yondon Perenli, of course, one of the up and coming, and here he is. He's got his work cut out here with Takeichi, I think.
Wongo Chao of China is the referee. This one we won't go into Wong's background, given that we've already given it.
Yeah, no,
a couple of minutes ago here.
We know everything about him. Everything.
Colonel Wong. Yes. Someone said he was a general, but I think he's only right, Takeichi in the white judogi. Yondon Perenle in blue. He was a bit of a surprise package.
Well, a
today.
surprise one, but
well,
yeah, he was good all day, and he was a real handful to everybody that came up against him. and just lost to Shamilov. And Shamilov had a real hard job because, I mean, he was throwing everybody for Ippon.
Hashiguchi as well, Japanese he
yes.
threw in that quarter-final.
Well, he didn't do it to Yondon Perenli. So Yondon Perenli, watch out, because he's very sharp as well, really sharp.
He threw Kamal Khan Magomedov of Russia for Ippon this morning. It was a thumper, it really was. And then
Oso Tagari, if I remember rightly.
Blavatsek, he threw for Wazari. And then in the semi-final, he came unstuck against Yakub Shamilov. He went over a couple of times. So he gets on here.
Well, he'll look for the Sodi. Oh, look at that Cianagi on the other side.
He was about to sit down there, wasn't he?
He was.
Oh, yeah, look at thumping cauliflower air, isn't he?
He's got to be the coolest coach, hasn't he? Just sits there, just takes everything in his stride.
He stretches with that right leg as though he's thinking about Otigari, but
he's going to get Shido here. Yondon Perenli is going to get Shido for holding one side. The very unusual style of the Mongolians, of course. Unusual grips, not the traditional sleeve lapel, so anything that they do that's different, holding on the same side, they've got to go in immediately. Oh, now and then.
He almost had it. Good reaction.
We were both there at the same time then.
good reaction. He was on his way over. Oh, on the arm or not? No.
Yeah, but he's got great reaction. I'm really impressed with Yondon Perenli. Really impressed. He's got a real good feel to the counters, and you can't attack him half-hearted. Takeichi's coach there just a little bit concerned.
Just a bit.
I remember fighting one of the very first Olympic medalists from Mongolia back in the 80s, or that's on. Is that arm lock on? As he got the arms out straight, it's definitely out straight, but he can't get the leverage against the elbow joint.
Turned it nicely, well done. At least he got that right.
And I remember fighting him, and he was just the most awkward fighter I've ever fought, ever. So, I mean, seeing opposite styles here up against each other, it's quite interesting. Don't know what he's saying there, Takeichi. Is something about the grip.
I think he was indicating that Yondon Perenli had his fingers inside the gi. Giving him a good look at it. He's in some real trouble here.
Well, he's given him real trouble, but he's a little bit inexperienced, and he's going to get another penalty if he's not quite careful here, just because he doesn't know what to do with the grips properly. Saying that, Takeichi gets the Shido. So one each. What age is he, Yondon Perenli?
I'm just looking all of that up.
First time we've seen him on the international circuit. Certainly the first time that he's ever competed in a Grand-Prix Grand Slam tournament. But like a real pro.
He's dealt with that the second time. It's the second time he's made that effort.
Just killed
Both times he's killed it. Yeah.
Killed it completely. Not only good balance, but dangerous for the counter-attack as well. Takeichi not quite so keen to go in. You see there that Takeichi goes in with a very high right hand for the Cianagi. He'll have to be careful. He nearly got caught by Yondon Perenli in the earlier part of the contest.
23 years old, you're quite right. He hasn't been in a Grand Prix before, but oddly enough, they sent him to the Grand Slam in Ekaterinburg. I can't remember seeing him there.
Something's going to happen here. Now it's going to happen. Kosoto. Oh, he's going to do it. Oh, he got given the Ippon. I'm not so sure it is the Ippon.
But it could be that he will, because we was trying to avoid it and went on his head. Why would you do that with a Mongolian?
Well, it's been changed now. It has been changed to the Wazari, and I think that when we have a look at it in slow motion, you'll see that it rolled just a little bit too far over. It wasn't the points of his shoulders that hit the ground, but something was going to happen there, wasn't it?
Why would you run that risk? You know, it's a fighter you haven't seen before. You were saying all the time about they've given it to him because of the time had run out anyway, and one single score was enough to do it.
Yes, the Wazari did it.
Yeah.
Let's watch it back in slow motion. Why grip up? I mean, he tried to do exactly what
the Mongolian wanted him to do.
Exactly what he wanted. This is not good territory to be in.
Not with
really
a Mongolian anyway.
Have a look at where his shoulders touch the ground. We can see it from this angle here. So it's left shoulder touched the ground, only one shoulder, isn't it? See it clearly here. So left shoulder touched. It wasn't the ippon. Yeah. Both shoulders have to touch to make the ippon. Quite rightly so too. But definitely, the last 5 seconds of a contest there, tactically just a little bit awry.
2 slips there from Takaichi. Right, we've got the second of the bronze medal contest coming up now. Hashiguchi Yuki of Japan faces Dovdon Altansuk of Mongolia. Same again then.
Here we go.
Hashiguchi in the white judogi, Dovdon in blue. I wonder if we're going to have the same outcome. Mongolia and Japan going head to head again.
Please welcome the athletes in the blue for Mongolia.
Kosei Inui really very clever with the way that he brings some of his young fighters through, and obviously a lot of pressure with the Olympic Games in Tokyo in 3 years' time. He's under a lot of pressure to get good results there, but he'll be under pressure to get good results at the World Championships as well. 2 Japanese in this category. One's just lost. Here goes Hashiguchi.
And Dovdon is a real handful. Dovdon Altansuk.
Well, look at the sleeve down there. And the Sodi, brilliant stuff. Wazari scored.
It was Dovdon that saw off the challenge of Takaichi earlier on. One Japanese down into the repechage. Got caught there. The sleeves were really well trapped there, weren't they?
Yeah, and that was my main point for saying it, is that they were dominating the sleeves, but you've got to attack off it. So Dovdon gets a penalty as well. Pushing the sleeve down, not doing anything. Actually, I think that was for cross grip, wasn't it? Well, I'm actually going to Mongolia next week, and I was wondering about what kind of unusual things I could show.
You'll be able to sort out Dovdon then.
Well, I think I've got it now because of the cross grips and the traditional grips and why the penalties.
That's not a bad effort.
They come from nowhere, don't they? These Yoko Otoshis, Yoko Satemiwas come from nowhere, and they just blast from a different direction, and they just take the opponent over.
Just that little bit too far away, that one.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this contest. Hashiguchi certainly can't rest on that one Wazari. I think the great thing about having open Wazaris is that you can, like you said, you can go 2 Wazaris up and you can still lose it, can't you?
Come back with a big score.
Got the sleeve again. And there's the Sinagi! Oh, what a Wazari! And that was on the other side, I think. Well, he was sweeping the rafters then.
Yeah, talk about
he really was.
Airborne. He got launched, didn't he?
You don't very often see Dovdon going up like that, do you? Look how high he goes there.
And look at that body position, the finish.
Brilliant
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
here. Really is great stuff here from Hashiguchi. Watch him switch it as well off the sleeve. So he goes left Sodasura Komigoshi off the sleeve, and then he does right Seoinage. And he scored with both of them. And Dovdon knows it.
He's got his hands
He does
full,
know.
yeah.
He now knows it.
Still got time, a little over a minute left to go.
Yeah, he's going to have to do something. This is a really good example here of Hashiguchi dominating the sleeve, pushing it down, then getting an opposite reaction. He's going to get penalised now for it, right? But Dovdon for sure has got to do something different. Oh, he's on the arm.
I don't believe it.
Now
Another
then,
slip.
he's got the arm out straight.
We've seen a couple of those go begging. maybe when you go to Mongolia, you want to do a masterclass on Jiu-Jitsu instead.
Well, as I said, they have beautiful direction hand or Suruti hand, which is the lapel hand, but quite often they keep it really high. There's such commitment in, and I'd say that you know, sometimes they leave it open, the arm open.
20 odd seconds left to go. That was as close as Dovdon has come. Almost ripping off the arm.
That was his big moment, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It really was. Now he comes in.
He's not afraid to be negative there, Hashiguchi.
Well, no, he can go another Shido, probably will do actually. Quick look at the clock. Seconds ticking away, but the referee will have to give a penalty if it's due, no matter whether it's the last 2 seconds of a contest or the first 2 seconds.
Well, Hashiguchi with two exciting standing techniques takes the contest and the bronze medal from Dovdon Altansuk. 1-1 then in the head-to-head between Japan and Mongolia in that weight category. Well, that kept us on the edge of our seats for a while, didn't it?
That was magic, wasn't it? Really was. Great change of direction.
Always had the feeling that Hashiguchi was going to come up with another score, you know, when he wanted to.
Well, it also showed us, didn't it? You don't score the flight, you score the landing.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he would have got 10 ippons for it. Look. So it was Sodi on the same side as well. So he was going Sodi Surakomigoshi.
Not getting
Complete
off that.
overthrow. And there's the Seoinage.
He feels himself going off balance there.
Yeah, just splits his legs, doesn't he?
As his opponent is going over, he rebalances himself, he sets himself. That's quite something. Right, we come to the final now of the under 66 kilo category. Georgy Zantaraya of Ukraine faces Yakub Shamilov of Russia. It's Zantaraya in the white judo gi, Shamilov in blue.
Yeah, well, look out for the absolute gymnastic ability of Zantaraya here, because I have the funny feeling that he will be climbing off one or two Shamilov techniques. And of course, he's a master of it, Zantaraya. They call him the cat because he just is so difficult to get onto his back. But he's going to have to watch Shamilov. Shamilov, a huge thrower. World ranked 16, Shamilov of Russia. Zantaraya, former world champion at under 60 kilograms. Here he is now, worked his way up. Well, he did actually work his way up to number 3 in the under 66 kilograms category. It's dropped down to under 21s because he had a little rest, but now he's back in full swing, coming up to the World Championships. Here we are, Zantaraya in white, Shamilov in blue.
Shamilov defeated Lee of Hong Kong, Hashiguchi of Japan, Yondon Perenli of Mongolia, and now he's up against Zantaraya.
You know, look out Shamilov tying up those sleeves, But he does explode underneath when he has the sleeves.
Zantaraya, in turn, defeated Wu Hanfu of China, Kim Lim-wan of the Republic of Korea, and then Dovdon Altansuk of Mongolia in that semi-final. So that's how the two of them got here.
Stianagi, there's the first turnout. We did say it was going to be difficult to get onto his back.
Got enough of him on the side, I think, to come up with a score. Slightly reminiscent of Hashiguchi just a moment ago, wasn't it?
Well, it was, yeah. It was. If you have a look at it, yeah. I mean, we've been given them all day, so you can't change it. You've got to be consistent with what you've been giving. But I think it will definitely change after the next World Championships, for sure.
Yeah, I think maybe that what was Yuko is now Wazari, will be just what was Wazari is Wazari.
Yes,
It's got to be that.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
But don't write off Zantaraya. Zantaraya has the most amazing technique. Not just the master of escape, he has got brilliant technique as well.
Well, as you said, Shamilov giving him plenty to think about.
Well, he's just so explosive, isn't he, Shamilov? And he's going left and right. He's holding left, then he just pops it in right. And Zantaraya more predominantly left-handed, but he can go right as well.
Just needed to have the arm a little bit deeper there, did Zantaraya. When he turned in for that, there wasn't really anything of Shamilov to grab hold of.
No, he's not as physically as strong as Shamilov.
That was a little bit closer. Just rocked Shamilov off onto his toes there.
This is the last competition before the World Championships, and so a bit of a warm-up for some of these athletes, I think, just to get as many contests under their belt as they possibly can prior to the World Championships. Something's going to happen here. We're going to see a big score any second now.
Yeah, Shamilov has all of a sudden decided he's
got the arm out.
He's all of a sudden decided he's not against the idea of getting wrapped up with Zantaraya. And, you know, I've seen a few people fancy their chances, and Zantaraya is the one who normally comes out on top.
Well, you know, he is a master, isn't he, of turning something on a sixpence. You know, he can actually 2 centimeters off the ground, and he can turn your attack against you. And that is a brilliant skill. It's an absolute world-class skill. Still think we're going to see a big score. Coming up to the last minute of this contest, Shamilov just ahead. Now something's going to happen. Kosoto, Shamilov just manages to climb off that. A readjustment there.
Back was bent in all sorts of ways.
Yeah, well, watch out for Zantaraya coming forward now. And this is where he could get caught if he's not careful. Because he's got to do something. He's a Wazari down. He needs a score on the board.
Shamilov still positive, though.
Yeah, it's a good match.
He hasn't closed up shop. Zantaraya want to get that hand on the other side. He's going to ground anyway.
Well, I can't understand why he doesn't really lock in there on the ground. Zantaraya not renowned for his newaza.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't let him up from there.
No.
Far more dangerous on his feet than he is on the ground.
Well, that's for sure.
Just blocking him with that right hand in the ribs, wasn't he, Shamilov there?
Yeah, a little bit of frustration from Zantaraya, and doesn't know what to do to get this score back. Would be interesting if he did manage to pull it back.
Shamilov doing the disappearing act now.
The run.
Yeah.
The long way around. Yeah. So now he's going to get penalised. Too little too late though, I think. He can go one more penalty. Needs one more attack.
Can't open him up.
Second penalty is going to come. You've got to give the penalty.
Yeah, she will.
She will do.
Yeah. And although Shamilov had picked up the 2 penalties, he did have a single positive score in that contest. That really nicely executed. Rosari Zantaraya coming off second best on this occasion. It's Yakub Shamilov of Russia who takes the gold medal. I have a few highlights from that one. Neil will talk you through those.
Yeah, what a good match. It was a judo man's match, really. We both know the ability of these two. Two great champions and good defensive play from both of them. Neither one of them really wanted to hook up because they felt the danger. And I often say, you know, when we're sitting in the commentary position or we're observing from our seats, whether it's at home or in the stadium here, it's easy to look at it and just say, well, it could have done this, could have done that. But actually you feel the danger when you're there. There's the Sianagi that actually scored there. Shamilov takes Zantaraya over onto his side. At the moment warrants the Wazari, so he gets the Wazari score.
Just about squeezed that one out.
Just about. He did.
We've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 52 kilo category now. Let's go down to the far end of the competition hall and have a look at the lineup for this one. The bronze medals go to, first of all, Wang Xin of China, to Mukbat Urantsetsek of Mongolia, who I said earlier on was fighting up from 48 to 52. We'll see her back down on 48 at some stage. Silver medal to Katerina Kuika of Canada. Good result for her. Up against stiff opposition in the final, unknown to her and relatively unknown to us, in the shape of Rim Song Sim, Democratic People's Republic of Korea.
Yeah, you can guarantee we haven't seen Rim Song Sim before. First time in a Grand Prix, Grand Slam. She just has a little look at the medal there.
What's that
But,
then?
yeah, exactly.
Wait until she sees the check.
But what a performance, and what a Tomonagi there.
Yeah, that was nice.
Good as she was to set it up, created the opening. There was the opening. And just as she comes off the ground there, Guisa lets her disappear right the way underneath.
It's one of those ones where you stay with your opponent, isn't it? You know, sometimes they get thrown somewhere else. She stayed with her and even the roll and followed it. And sometimes that takes away from the dynamic or dramatic finish, you know. But it did the job.
It did the job in the end, took her cleanly onto her back for the ippon.
Now the national anthem of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Yeah, I think the last time that we heard that national anthem would have been from
London.
Oh no, it would have been after that, because we had Sol Kyung, didn't we? The under 78 kilo category. She won the world championship.
That's right.
The year after that. So perhaps we would have heard that somewhere else. Wong and Mukbat were the bronze medalists. Kuika silver. Rim from Elite BRK come up with a gold medal. Right, there's another chance for a medal the DP Arcade. It's Ri Hyo-sun to face Jessica Klimke. Ri in the white judogi, Jessica Klimke of Canada in blue. It's the first of the bronze medal contest in the under 57 kilo category.
Well, again, just pointing out that we have real depth, and Democratic People's Republic of Korea have a team here that many of us haven't seen. And don't forget, we're already 1 year in to the Olympic cycle, 4-year Olympic cycle. Now, all the qualification won't start for another year or so, but it's interesting that we've coming up to the World Championships, and here we have a team sorting out some of their selections, I think. Ri Hyo-sun here in white, Klimke of Canada wearing blue.
Jessica Klimke was the cadet world champion a few years ago. Moved up from 52 kilos to 57 now, just settling in. There's some waves being made there because Klimke's on her way up. Bushra Pinard is just beginning to look as though she's not tapering off, but has reached that point of finding it difficult to, kick on. And then I think the Canadians are going to have an addition to that 57 kilo category of the little Japanese who's gone over now.
Yeah, of
course. Christo.
Absolutely, yeah, but nice to have depth, isn't it, for them? And Bushra Pinard losing in the earlier round, third round, was it? She lost to Washta of Germany. So now, Klimke, great opportunity for her to pull a medal here.
She's got a little bit of like a boxer type movement, and with the feet as well, she gives you a little two-step, nice little look with the Turnagi. She's caught a few people with that.
I think that when they come through from cadets, it's all about maturing the judo and getting it to senior level and to a senior type of judo. There's a, it's turning it almost from junior judo to senior judo.
Yeah.
And that takes a little bit of time. It just takes a bit of time, and of course exposing yourself to senior competition.
And sometimes the styles don't suit. You just can't carry it forward.
No, sometimes they can't. It's making that adaptation, which is very, very important, of course, and it's why you've got to try and get them into senior events so that they can make that transition. Techniques are slightly different. Klimke still looks to me as if she's got a little bit of the junior judo in her, but I'm sure that that will come. Sodi Surikomigoshi there dropped. She's got to get some kind of rotation on that. Otherwise, she will get penalised for it. She already got one Shido on the board. Very hot on that at the moment, the referees. You don't get the rotation. And for the people out there that, I had 3 people actually contact me about the drop Seoinage, saying, oh, now drop Seoinage is banned. And it's nothing to do with drop Seoinage banned. It's just got to get full rotation, and it has to be with intent to throw. So drop Seoinage, I can tell you now, officially, is not banned.
First I've heard of that.
Yeah, no, three different people in the last week.
But I guess no one's writing to me.
All right, dear.
When am I going to get a letter then? No score yet. Minute 19 left to go. Single Shido picked up by Jessica Klimke. Ri now joins her with the Shido as well. Time enough yet for something to bubble up.
We want to see a score, don't we? That's what we need. The whole idea of the penalties is to initiate a score. The whole idea of dominating the grips and getting the grip that you want is that you can then throw from it.
Took a bronze medal at the Asian Championships a few years ago, did Ri. She's 26 now, so, no spring chicken.
No, well, that was the thing. That's the thing about this People's Republic of Korea team. They're not young. you know, but they haven't been out there. They
Yeah.
just haven't been out there doing a lot of the competitions.
And when they do, I mean, when Bree has fought, it's been a very, very checkered win, loss, win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. You know, she hasn't been able to, you know, string anything together.
No, well, a lot of the time as well, they struggle with the adaptation of certain rules.
Yeah.
Because they're not out there on the circuit, and it changes, you know, each week something else happens. I really sincerely hope they're not going to give that a score.
No. She's begging for one.
Yeah, no, please don't.
And the timing and the tempo of contests, I think, always unsettles them. They often pick up unnecessary penalties, because, as you say, they're not sharp with changes in the rules, and they find it difficult to adapt, you know, very quickly.
Yeah, well, I mean, often it's timing when it comes to attacks as well. You know, the actual time that you've got to put an attack in, if you're out by 2 to 3 seconds, you go 2 shidos down and you lose a contest on it. I remember when the great DeCoste came back to do, she'd only been out for 6 months, decided to do the Paris tournament 6 months later. The rules had changed and she picked up 3 shidos. And couldn't understand why, but it was just to do with timing. So we're into golden score, and straight into golden score. So now 1 shido difference will decide this match.
I'm not against the idea of a golden score with Rhee and Klimke, simply because they've both got things to work out. Neil was talking about, you know, sort of, you know, quite technical battle, and, you know, some people enjoy that kind of stuff and others find it, you know, not boring but difficult to watch. This has just got something in it, you know, to see who's going to be able to come up with a score. I hope it's not going to end on a penalty.
Yeah, well, we don't. That's the thing. We don't want it decided with a penalty. And when we listen to sometimes coaches or crowd shouting,
alternate, right? Alternate,
you know, for somebody to get a penalty against them, that's not what we want. So a little bit of an injury out there, I think.
Yeah,
something to the hand.
Rhee Hyun-sun has picked up a wrist injury, just trying to shake that loose. Well, it's Rhee's turn to do a bit of boxing footwork. You know, she tries to stay away from gripping up for a second and get her hand back in order.
Klimke definitely just ahead at the moment on attack. She is the only one that looks like she's going to score. That Sorisura Komigoshi there, she's dropping in for.
I think they've seen enough now. Yeah.
Yes, all over.
Yeah, Rhee Hyun-sun hasn't been able to come up with sufficient enough attacks. It's Jessica Klimke of Canada who takes that bronze medal, but not necessarily a disaster for Rhee. A 5th place at the Grand Prix will still give her points. And on the other hand, it's great news for Jessica Klimke. She comes away with another medal. The young girl.
It's all about consistency, isn't it? And she is consistent. She's up there round about all the time.
Just put a hand down with that effort. I wonder if getting the hand down and the Klimke continuing with the attack, maybe that was the thing. We run the risk the minute you put your hand down. Right, Marguerite Bergstra of the Netherlands faces Viola Wächter of Germany. It's Bergstra in the white judogi, Wächter in blue. 26 and 42, their world ranking positions respectively. So a bit of a gap between the two, and I wonder if Wächter will make a little bit of a mess of that ranking. She's got plenty of experience, Viola Wächter.
She has got a lot of experience. Just lost in the semi-final, didn't she? Dosseren was the victor. She's in the final, Dosseren. One of the most consistent in the category, actually, Dosseren. Well, she's the only German. Look at that, it's all over. Oh, my goodness me.
Thumping Uchimata, that
What
was.
an Uchimata. Had the grip that she wanted, didn't she, Wächter? Right the way underneath there. Big smile on her face
oh.
there from Bergstra.
Bronze medal for Germany.
Sort of slightly embarrassed smile from Bergstra. She thinks, I wonder where did that come from? But that was very, very powerful.
Yeah, I don't think any doubting that was an ippon. Have a look at this one. Look at the feet leave the ground there, quite clearly onto the back. That is what judo is all about. That's what we want. Big ippon throws. And that was terrific, wasn't it?
That didn't delay us long. We didn't get to see the best of Marguerite Bergstra, I'm afraid, but we pretty much got to see the best of Viola Vesta. That was a great angle as well, that last one. And as you say, well, it happens sometimes. Well, it's great you can laugh about it. Tell you what, I wouldn't be.
I'd be crying.
Right, we come to the final of the under 57 kilo category. Dorj Suren Sumia of Mongolia faces Tamaoki Momo of Japan. Dorj Suren in the white judogi, Tamaoki in blue.
Well, I said that Dorj Suren of Mongolia was definitely one of the most consistent in the weight category, the highest world ranking actually. She's world ranked 3 here, but she's always there, roundabout, always in the medals, no matter what tournament it is. Here she is in the final yet again, Dorj Suren against Tomoki. Tomoki, 22 years of age, will want to win this. I'm sure that some kind of selection here. Don't know whether it's going to be for selection for the World Championships, but she'll certainly want to end this with a gold medal. World ranked 66. But actually, when you're out there, it doesn't mean that much, does it? It doesn't. Dorj Suren in white then, and Tomoki of Japan in blue.
Very well put. We've seen what it says on paper. Now let's see what happens in the middle.
Yeah.
Oliver de Roses of France is the referee in the middle for this one.
So both of them, will it be receiving a Shido each? Nope, just Tomoki.
Just
Dorj Suren,
yeah.
Dorj Suren. Well, it's normally the one with the overhand grip that's pushing the hand down that will get the penalty.
Nice effort there from Dorj Suren. Got underneath the defence of Tamaoki. Couldn't quite come up with the finish, however.
Well, again, she has great ability as well of turning bad techniques into her advantage. Just good counter techniques. She's dominating that sleeve. She's the one. It's left-handed fighter Dorj Suren. Tomoki, she's right-handed. Going to get a second penalty here, I think. Or is it going to be Tomoki?
Both fighters pick up penalties. Dorj Suren now on a second, Tamaoki a first. It's not the most attractive of contests because they're both being that little bit negative, unfortunately. Too guarded.
She's going to have to really open up here, isn't she, Dorj Suren? Dorj Suren, one more penalty, it will be all over. And actually, she's the one that's done the strongest techniques so far. So it would be a real shame to end like that.
She's ended up committing 2 errors. Tamaoki will be perfectly happy with that situation if it continues.
Yeah, neither one of them has attacked really. Tamaoki now does. That's a nice Ouchi. Was Ari scored? Great opportune Ouchi that was. So Dorj Suren starts it off, then gets caught with the Ouchigari. Driving Ouchigari there from Tamaoki. Good posture as well, Tamioki, I have to say. Head up all the time, looking for the sleeve grip all the time. Good with the feet, as most of the Japanese are. And this match just slipping away from Dorsaeren. 1 minute 26 seconds left, and Dorsaeren is going to have to change her tactics here.
Well, it would be a pity if it ends on a penalty. You know, we've just spoken about how much, you know, talent Dorsaeren has got. She's made her way to the final. It's a little bit better. There's still time. There's a minute left to go.
Well, a minute left to go, and I think it's going to be a minute of non-stop work here from Dorsaeren. Going to take it forward. Tomoki just on the back foot, just a little bit now.
Yeah, why not? Off the pedal as Dorsaeren steps up a gear, if we want to continue the car analogy. Tap with the right leg on the left leg of Dorsaeren, but nothing serious. I was talking about the Ashiwaza. I know Tamioki's got nice Ashiwaza.
Yeah, nice rotation there as well. Attack under pressure, 33 seconds to go. I think her posture will be her big advantage here. Like you say, just onto that foot all the time. Trying to get Dorsaeren to step back with that left foot. So in charge here, Tomoki, and she's been in charge the whole of the match, gotta say. Right against left situation, into the last 10 seconds of the contest.
Oh, yes,
Look
and there's
at
the
that.
score right at the death there. Right with 3 seconds left to go. Beautifully done.
Well, that's going to take it into golden score now.
Angolan coach is screaming for Ippon. That was beautiful.
Well, of course, it wasn't
Nice
anywhere near in
shocker.
Ippon, but what a score. And now it takes it into golden score. Gives Dorsaeren now a chance to bring this back, because if she gets Tomoki another penalty, it will then go to a third penalty shootout, you could say.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a score. Dorsaeren is now on the move. Tamioki didn't shut up shop. She just looked comfortable
Just
with the
goes to show,
Wazari.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's never over until. It really isn't.
I heard her singing. I heard the singing.
So all open now, and Dorsaeren is going to take the fight absolutely to Tomoki. Uchimata this time, Tomoki.
That's what I think is going to happen. One of them, you know, is going to come up with a score.
Definitely looking for the score.
Yeah. They're not, you know, negative fighters. Both fancy their chances of putting another score on the board. Who's going to be first then?
Well, she's got to grip up, Dorsaeren. One more and she's out. So if either one of them or both of them get a penalty, she's lost this. Got to get rotation on the Seoinage. False attacks really being penalised at the moment. Good attack again from Tamioki.
Almost with the counter. Just at the edge there. Tamioki almost turning. I think it was more of her losing balance at the end of that rather than Dorsaeren taking anything over.
Well, it really sparked this contest off, didn't it? You know, what a great way to finish the first day.
Yeah.
Little warning to the coach, who's coaching while they're actually fighting. Can't do that. Only in the mates. A nice Ashiwaza from Dorsaeren. And Tamioki up to her now. Well, that would really spark it off, wouldn't it, if Tamaoki gets another penalty, but she is attacking.
Almost the,
Almost the return,
yeah.
the reverse Cianagi there, all tied up, so tied up in fact, she can't get out of it.
Terrific little battle this one now. Minute 40 odd into golden score already.
Yeah, but it's an exciting minute and 40 seconds, isn't it? It's gone very, very quickly, and both fighters attacking, both looking to get the score, and I think that's the main key here. That's the main point, is that they're both looking for the score.
I think you're right about Daughter, and she comes up with another big attack here. That's not big enough.
No, got to get rotation on that. Is it a proper Cianagi? The referee lets it go on.
Yeah, it was okay, but it's not big enough, not really threatening for you to then say, right, Tamaoki's really up against it here.
It's got to break balance. It has to break balance. It has to look as if it's going to throw.
Just the edge with Dortsuren for me.
Yeah, it's by no means over, is it, this? Both going great guns. Good attack from Tomoki.
Just got caught on the nose with the knee, I think.
A little bit of concern there from the Mongolian coach. Well, I don't know if the referee really bargained for this one. He didn't expect that one to go into golden score.
Done a good job.
Good Cianagi again. Tomoki very busy. Dortsuren realizes it. She's got to now attack.
Good battle. Really good battle. 3 minutes of golden score.
3 minutes of non-stop attack as well. So each one of them has to attack within a certain amount of time. Otherwise, they'll be penalized. So the whole idea of this is that they do attack, and that it's a valid attack, and it has intent. There's a Cianagi again from Dortsuren.
Tamaoki's seeing this one coming now, isn't she?
Yeah, she kills it dead. Any deader than that anyway, and it'll be all over. That one, I mean, that really looks as if it's going to throw, doesn't it? Tomoki starting to look the stronger for me. She has great posture, but the experience of Dortsuren could steal it.
It's 1 for 1, isn't it? You know, you attack and I attack.
This is where the tactics comes in, and the extra randers that you put in. Both girls absolutely in amazing condition, because they're just going hammer and tongs at it. That's the second contest out of the way there. There's 2 in 1, and now we're going into a third one.
Well, Neil was talking about the experience of Dortsuren, Olympic silver medalist. Just gets sat on her backside at the end there and pushed down, but by that time the mate had already been called.
Yeah, is the referee going to finish this? So a Shido each, Dortsuren loses it.
I kind of go with Dortsuren there. Look, she's saying, hey, we're both battling away, we're both fighting here.
Well, I agree with you. I think that it was 1 for 1. Each one of them, neither one of them was being really passive, you know, so just let it go on.
7 o'clock, is it rush to go home, or what was the story there? You know, everyone has been a good time. we could have kept going.
Well, and they could have as well. It's not like one of them was dropping
and
the other one was trying to avoid.
At no stage did that look unattractive, where you have to say, I think we better wrap this up now.
No, I mean, if it is totally negative, wrap it up and it's job done. Quite agree with you, and I agree with Dortsuren. Finished a little bit too premature, that, for me.
Right, we've got the awarding ceremony for the men in the under 66 kilo category. We'll be back with the awarding ceremony for the 57 kilo category in a moment, but let's take a look at where those medals went. The first of the bronze medals goes to Hashiguchi Yuki of Japan. He receives his medal from the Education and Coaching Director from the International Judo Federation, Mr. Mohammed Maridja. Yonden Perenli Bashku of Mongolia is the second of the bronze medalists. The silver medal goes to Georgi Zantaraya of the Ukraine. Not best pleased, unfortunately. But the gold medal goes to Yakub Shamilov of Russia.
I think you're right there. Zantaraya not too happy about that. Would have liked to have finished the preparation for the World Championships with a win, on a win. But I agree, and I've got to say that this, if there's anything going to knock the nail into the wood here about this score, this is it, because we've seen so many of them today. We've had to score it because it's written down, and so therefore, after the World Championships, it will be different. But unfortunately, there is a possibility of a world title being won on a score like this.
And now the national anthem of Russia. That was probably the pick of the weight categories today as well. 66 kilos. If you look at that lineup on the podium, Yonden Perenli of Mongolia came up with a super effort. Hashiguchi, Zantaraya and Shamilov, those were top draw fighters. Here's Neil.
Yeah, it was a great category, it really was. And there's the finishing order there. Shamilov with the gold, Zantaraya silver. Not happy with that, was he? He wasn't altogether happy with it. Yonden of Mongolia and Hashiguchi of Japan get the bronzes.
He could smile later on when he looks at the world ranking list, push him up if he's seeded or whatever. You might feel a little bit different, but as you say, a gold medal is every time better. But it wasn't going to happen today. Sorry, it didn't happen today. There are a few highlights, by the way, and Neil's got some thoughts on the day, and then we'll be back with the last of the medal presentations.
Yeah, it was, I think, looking at the beginning of the day, I thought that it was quite a slow start, and we didn't see that many ippons, but certainly picked up as we went through the day. And I think that, I don't know, whether people are warming up sufficiently, and it always looks to me as if they don't warm up sufficiently and they warm in throughout the day, you know, but gold medals are won and lost in the first and second contest.
Yeah, if you're not around, you can't win.
No, it's just an observation, but certainly was slow at the beginning.
We did, in the final block, actually have a few nice touches as well. Some nice scores, some nice throws, nice tactical battles. Just one in there that was just maybe that little bit slow, but the rest of them I thought great. It was a good final block. Nice finish to the day. Chinese are happy. They've got some medals. The Mongolians didn't have to come far. They picked up a few. Russia.
And of course Japan, you know, who are always going to pick up medals. So I think, I think it's all going to pick up. And I think that the next 2 days we're going to see some great judo, but I think it definitely got better and better as it went on.
We've got the awarding ceremony for the women in the under 57 kilo category now. bronze medals go to Viola Wächter of Germany, to Jessica Klimke of Canada, just receiving her medal from the IJF head referee director Jan Schneiders. Silver medal goes to Dortsurin Sumir of Mongolia. Gold medal goes to Tamaoki Momo of Japan. She gave us a little bit of a roughhousing earlier on, a bit of a punch-up, but she showed her mettle after that, tidied things up, and can't have any complaints after that. Very tough competitor, difficult to break down and get past, as we saw in that final. We're into the third, fourth minute. She still had something left about her. Here's Neil.
Well, after day one here in Hohhot, as expected, China have a great start to the competition, but with large teams here in Hohhot, Russia, Japan and Mongolia have started strongly and have shown us that they really mean business. 4 more categories tomorrow, and then Sheldon and I will be commentating on the second day. So we'll see you tomorrow with more judo action.
Thank you. And now it's time for a family picture of the athletes and the VIPs, please.